Well, I tell you, it's a very, insulin is very...
Like if you don't have insulin, you exercise.
Separate braking and swerving. Yeah. If you're exercising, you don't have insulin.
Right.
If you're eating, crank it up.
Yeah.
Separate the two out. It makes life a lot easier.
That concept. Yeah.
Well, most people
don't think about it like that.
Who are not right. For me, like I think, how can I fit in 3 workouts in a day? Well, wake up early, eat early, then do a workout. Then take a huge amount of insulin right after that workout so I can work out again at 1.
But you're doing that because you're training for...
Yeah. Or I'm trying to manage around clients. Like if somebody says to me, hey, I want to go for a run and I've got 5 units on board, not going to happen.
You can't do it.
Not going to happen. Yeah, so a lot of these concepts are... Which
is another annoying thing, because when you're planning out things and you make a last minute decision, you're like, oh, I wanted to go do this, but I can't do this right now because blood sugar's not right. I'd have to go eat 60,
That's why it's helpful. I mean, you're already doing a lot of things you need to do, but the protein and the fat would help get you through those periods when it's tough.
Right.
Another good supplement that you can try out is called UCAN. We have it downstairs here, and it's a really slow burning carbohydrate. You still get carbs, but it's 30 grams, and it takes like 2 hours to
is it like a drink or like a gel?
Drink, yeah. It's a little funky.
Tastes
there's
good.
different flavors, but I gotta say, as far as managing diabetes goes, it gives you a lot of energy. It's very consistent.
What gets it to release so slowly?
It's called superstarch, and it was developed for patients, children with GTSD, and these are kids that couldn't metabolize carbohydrate, and so they got this superstarch product to work for them, but they said, well, that's kind of a limited market, and they actually use it as a weight loss and endurance supplement. They started with the endurance community. They're based out of Connecticut. I found out about them. They came and actually found me because I'm diabetic and exercise. And with the reason it's a metabolic good product is you don't need to take insulin for it. So when you take insulin, what happens is your body turns the gas gauge towards burning glycogen. If you don't take insulin and you work out, it goes towards aerobic processes and burns fat. So the more insulin you have in your body before a workout, the more carbs you burn in your muscles. The less, you're strictly burning fat, metabolically speaking. So that's a really important distinction, because when you have something like superstarch, when you ingest it, it takes so long for it to ever hit your bloodstream, your body doesn't really produce any insulin. And so you start working out, and they find, 1, it gives you energy, and 2, it burns fat. And so a lot of people really like it added into their smoothies, or
And people who are not diabetic, it's good for too, just exercise.
Oh yeah, it really is not designed for diabetics. Yeah, but that's a whole market that they're trying to get.
So if you're an exercise and drink that, you don't need to cover it, because it's just...
Pretty much, though, you then have to start thinking about food on board.
Right.
So for me, I find that, and I'll send you my notes on that, but thinking of it. You can still get high after, though, because it burns so slow.
Well, that's what I was saying, unless you're doing, if you're not doing if you're just going on a walk, or you're not really getting your heart rate up, you're probably not gonna.
No, if you go play tennis.
But if I went to play tennis or went for like a 40-minute run or whatever, I'd probably be alright.
But you have a lot of days that you play tennis and go for a run, right?
I don't run that much anymore.
Not anymore?
No, barely ever run.
Yeah, so here's some notes that I use for UCAN, including anabolus.
Okay. We'll try it.
It's one more tool in the arsenal, you know? I just try to make sure I get in as many carbs at a specific time as I can. I try not to muddy the water with fat, because fat will really extend the amount of insulin if you carry it.
Right.
And if you're trying to, you almost want to create windows for yourself. Like before working out is a window that you want to keep clear as much as you can of insulin, 2 hours before. During the workout is a specific treatment in a window, and then post-workout is a window. How does that look?
Right.
And then outside of that is the rest of day-to-day. And
right. The other thing I ran into for the first time a little bit this summer, but it was the summer before, was this has never happened to me, but I was in a match, it was a tournament match, and I think the highs were happening, and I had like the worst cramp, like I fell to the ground, I was screaming for like 10 minutes. And it started to happen in Max this past summer, but it started and I felt it, and then like I got it to somehow go away. But
that's from being high. That's from being high.
It's dehydration. I assume. Like, I started drinking pickle juice. One of the diabetic pros like this. I swear by this. Like drink pickle juice.
So yeah, that'll help to some extent. Yeah. It depends how bad it gets.
Right. I mean, it lasted about 10 minutes. It was painful enough that I like had to.
So the larger someone is, the less chance they get to that point quickly.
Yeah.
Dehydration happens actually quite rapidly if you're, exercising hard.
Right.
When your blood sugar's high, what's happening is your body is actually mobilizing salt and electrolytes.
Right.
And is really sucking the fluids out of you and flushing out that sugar through your urine. So you're losing electrolytes and glucose, which is like a double whammy. Like you're losing all your energy, your mojo, really.
But and then the other thing though, I'm sorry.
That fourth one in 2005.
Yeah.
It was I had to walk every step of the marathon. It's that exact scenario. Yeah, and I cramped so bad. I had so much salt all over my body, and my muscles were so locked up that the last 20 miles I just coasted on the bike. And then I walked the marathon because if I tried to run, everything would lock up.
You walked the entire marathon?
Yeah, 26 miles.
Oh my god.
You weren't like, I'm just giving up, but like I'm just doing
I wanted to, but it was the
That's
World
insane.
Championship.
Okay, so
Anyway,
kind of important.
the point is, you can probably be high during exercise and feel fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Once dehydration kicks in, all bets are off. And the longer the event goes, the more you're going to find cramping until ultimately you're done. Yeah.
The other thing I noticed too, when these highs happen during tennis, I've not experienced this during anything else. It's like I can tell I'm high while I'm playing. It's like I'm gasping for air or oxygen. It's like it almost feels like I have asthma, but I obviously don't. It's like, and I get tight. Your muscles get tight, and I'm like, I feel like I'm out of shape.
Pressure on your chest.
Yeah, it's like, wow. I feel like I'm working so hard to just hit the ball. It's like
because
I've never had anything like that. It's like
your blood is getting thick and viscous.
Yeah, I mean,
like
you can't do that.
Literally, and your heart is trying to pump it through, and it's not going because it's like syrupy.
I mean, is that like pretty dangerous to even be?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I'm like,
I
don't want to know.
All I can tell you is I've been doing this a long time. If that's the case and that's what kills me, that may be it. But I mean, whatever. You gotta live your life. You gotta live your life.
Exactly.
Just try not to spend.
I mean, it's not like it happens all the time. It of course can happen.
You can bring your blood sugar down, any high blood sugar down within 30 minutes without exercise. I mean,
I usually just give myself a shot at that point if I'm in the 300s.
Yep. The corrections we'll bring you down really quick. It's amazing. 20 minutes even. So try not to. The only consequence you have of taking a shot is how much you're gonna have to eat in the future if you want to continue to exercise.
Right.
So what I say to myself is, highs are bad, really bad. That's why, like before a major event, I try and keep it really low.
Yeah.
Because it's more detrimental than even a low. A low, at least you'll come out of it.
Yeah.
So you just keep eating and you're good.
Right.
So
I've never had I've never passed out or anything like that. But I'm sure for you must have for all that stuff.
Like
it's impossible not to.
The early days were tough.
Yeah.
The first 5 years when I was in more like my 20s.
Yeah.
And I was still grasping at straws at a lot of stuff. But every race you see up there, plus the hundreds of other shorter ones, you get better and better at it, like anything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you can, either of you guys use Evernote?
You know, I don't.
It's pretty cool
I've,
stuff.
I've heard of it. I've not.
Yeah.
I'm sure my husband does.
Yeah.
He's so high tech.
It's not even high tech.
No, I know. Well, he uses every app. The other day I went through his phone going, can you explain to me all of these 500 apps that you have going on here? Evernote. So it just sends out as an email very quickly?
Uh-huh. You can record conversations, and then like if I see your name, it would query the file even.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's a great way to just remember notes and things.
Yeah.